So we're not going to be on camera. They're just going to be talking. So we're not going to be on camera. They're just going to be talking. All right, cool. All right. I'll let you guys play that. Well, we don't have time. So just come over. Let's get comfortable. Let's get started. About what's too loud and what's not, or like, can you hear it without it being on the screen? All right, so.
Coming at you live from Harrisonburg, Virginia, nestled in the heart of the beautiful Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. This is Jim Sacco, and I'm joined by Jeremy Eldridge for opening day of Blue Ridge FC Soccer. Jeremy, what can we expect this season out of Blue Ridge FC?
Well, it is great to be with you, Jim. You know, this is the third season of spring ball for Blue Ridge FC, and actually this year they're also going to have a fall season for the first time. But we're expecting the spring season to continue to be as fun and power-packed as it has been the last 2 years. Many returning players, but lots of new faces as well. We'll get to know some of the players throughout today's match. But today's match is especially important because it's up against a really tough competitor, Lynchburg FC.
Right. I mean, you talk about, what do they say about March in like a lion, out like a lamb? Well, in April, Blue Ridge FC is welcoming the giant bear to beautiful Horizons Edge Sports Facility. Lynchburg FC last year, they are the defending conference champions. Last season, 9-0-1. Yeah,
they cleaned the floor with the other teams in this conference last season, and our matches against them were no laughing matter. They bring in a lot of talent from the Lynchburg area, including Liberty University players and ex-players, and it looks like they're stacked again this year. But we've got a scrappy little group ourselves in Blue Ridge FC, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do today.
I'm excited to see how Season 3 starts. Just so everyone listening is in the know, it looks like we got a little bit of wind. It's coming out of the south and traveling directly across the pitch to the north. And these two uniforms on both these squads are absolutely beautiful. Lynchburg FC, and is that a aqua, or is that more of a baby blue with white and blue stripes on the bottom edge? And then Blue Ridge FC's home kits are absolutely gorgeous, and I know I might be a little, what's the word I'm looking for here, Jeremy? A little
biased?
Biased, thank you very much, but they are just brilliant uniforms. I love everything about them.
I have to confess to being a little biased as well. I had a chance to preview the uniforms as they were being designed, and I think they did a really cool job bringing in some of the team's identity and some images that relate to what we're trying to do and being an inclusive and welcoming group with players from around the world, and also representing our beautiful Shenandoah Valley.
And as folks may or may not know, Harrisonburg is probably one of the most diverse cities in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And again, like you said, these jerseys sure do play off that and sure have that inclusivity that everyone is looking for. And a brief shout out on the goalkeeper kit front of the jersey with the beautiful Circle of Hope representing United Way of Central Shenandoah Valley.
I like the United Way. They're a pretty good organization, wouldn't you say, Jim?
I would say so myself. We'll get, once again, being very biased on the matter. But it looks like our officials are walking up to place the ball at the midfield, and it looks like we're ready to kick off the 2026 spring season, or summer season. Spring, summer, it's all the same at the end of the day, right?
Today feels like summer, but we're firmly in spring.
And do we know who our starting keeper is out there? While we're checking that out, just a heads up, Bobby Mongold, the first assistant for Blue Ridge FC, takes the helm during home matches, so head coach Adam Sharp can do all the necessary stuff for the home matches. And we're off. I'm sorry, late on that there, Jeremy.
That's okay. Yeah, well, I'll catch up with you sometime soon, Jim. Lynchburg moves the ball back down the field to their keeper.
Bobby Mongold, no stranger to the Harrisonburg area in Rockingham County. He's a 1989 Broadway High School graduate, a 1993 Bridgewater College graduate, and in 8 years at the helm of the Broadway High School girls basketball team, he amassed a 146-70 record and won the school's first girls basketball state title in 2017 after leading them to the state finals in 2014 and 2015. So Bobby is no stranger to local sports, and he was also the girls soccer coach at Broadway High School.
Yeah, he had somewhat of a fabled career as their soccer and basketball coach there, and I think when he retired in, I think it was spring of 2018, there were a lot of people sad to see him go.
Yes, but now he is back on the sidelines for the Blue Ridge FC, and we got the ball at about midfield, and Lynchburg FC puts it back into the left corner.
In the previous 2 seasons, Blue Ridge FC has shone in defense, and it looks like they're going to have an opportunity to do that again today.
Let's go with shown on that.
Shown.
I did not bring my AP style book with me this week. I'll make sure to do so in 3 weeks, when Blue Ridge FC is back home.
And to answer your question earlier, in goal today for Blue Ridge FC is Alex Cruz. He's in his 3rd year with Blue Ridge FC, so he's one of our longest tenured players out here today. And he had 10 appearances for Blue Ridge FC last year.
So if nothing really has changed with Lynchburg FC, Alex Cruz is going to potentially be getting a workout back there between the pipes.
A workout indeed, but I think that he also brings some experience and knows what he's looking for from danger zones.
Blue Ridge FC was moving the ball up. Lynchburg with the quick takeaway, and they're going to reset, get it back to the goalkeeper, and going to look to reset the offense to see what they can do to kind of break on through.
Keep an eye on number 17, our new forward this year. This is Riley Queen, and he's been an ODAC standout from Bridgewater College. But it's his first year with us at Blue Ridge FC.
Bridgewater College, located just south of the city of Harrisonburg in beautiful Bridgewater, Virginia, right off State Route 42. Well, Riley Queen has no problems challenging the goalie there, as the goalie was kind of bringing the ball out with his feet, and he didn't go anywhere or drop back, and I kind of like that aggressiveness from a forward. Yeah,
he was in his college career so far, he is a junior, and in his freshman year he was named to 3rd team All-ODAC, in his sophomore year 2nd team, and then this year as a junior 1st team All-ODAC, and he earned multiple ODAC Offensive Player of the Week honors. He ranked 2nd in shots, goals, and shots on goal this season.
Well, that's a nice, steady progression of his collegiate career and kind of what you're looking for in a player, and could very well be the anchor of a Blue Ridge offense, which is still trying to get things going a little bit. Lynchburg FC definitely maintaining a lot of the control of this match so far, but then again, we're only 4:26 in.
Maybe they'll tire him out.
Yes. I like that strategy. A good old tire 'em out strategy.
What do they call that in boxing? Rope-a-dope?
Rope-a-dope, yes.
To cast no aspersions on the intellectual capacities of Lynchburg FC.
Does the wind play a factor in all? Because the wind, I don't know if it's because we're sitting right now a little higher up off the pitch, but I do see the tents equal to the pitch are kind of blowing,
wow.
And the Blue Ridge FC one appears to have taken a beating. Oh, that was a nice save. Oh, and it does manage to go in. That goal. So 5:24 mark, Lynchburg FC gets themselves onto the scoreboard.
Looks like that was number 4 from Lynchburg FC that made the goal.
Alex Cruz made the initial save, but it did bounce back out to the Lynchburg forward there. and I saw a Blue Ridge defender just couldn't quite dive his legs in front of the second shot in enough time, and he just managed to squeak that thing into the lower right-hand corner of the net. Up until that point, the Blue Ridge, and granted, again, only 5.5 minutes in, that Blue Ridge defense was holding steady, bending a little bit. It just kind of broke there, but let's be honest, the rebound, it's tough to play off a rebound when your goalkeeper is on the ground having to dive to make the initial save.
No doubt. Also up in front for Blue Ridge FC today, we've got number 31, Anthony Eugenio. And Anthony also comes to us from Bridgewater College, but originally from Campo Grande, Brazil.
Oh, a little Eagles connection there and up front for Blue Ridge.
Yes, in fact, there are 4 players on the starting roster today that are Eagles. So we might have a little built-in chemistry from their work together on the field in Bridgewater.
And it's good seeing a local Division III team getting that kind of presence on a local semi-pro soccer team. It makes me happy, at least.
I agree. You know, one of the things I love about the UPSL and Blue Ridge FC in particular is it brings together some of the best of the local college and high school scene in very competitive play. And it's really designed to help people launch their soccer careers and to move to the next step. Very impressed with Lynchburg's style of play. I like a rough and tumble soccer team. I like that style. Not dirty, just playing very aggressive. And obviously it's paid dividends so far. Curious what Blue Ridge does to kind of maybe match that aggressiveness on the defensive end and taking that forward to the other side of the pitch on the offensive side. Yeah, you know, I don't have the stats in front of me, but as I recall last year, it was very similar, scrappy play, but clean play, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, they're solid, maintaining control this match so far. And there's another shot, but Cruz with the save, easily corralled that one in. So how many miles do you think an official logs in a game like this?
I stand amazed by their ability to move with the play and also keep their eyes on the ball.
Oh,
dangerous build-up,
and Cruz
okay,
came out to challenge that, and that was perfect. Unofficially, I'd say that's save number 2 for Cruz.
We've got a defender working overtime, Levi Buckwalter, number 20, and he is actually from Guam and plays on the Guam men's national team when he's not with Blue Ridge FC. He actually just had a match last week with the Guam national team against Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, they did lose that game 4-0. But Levi comes with a lot of international experience.
Was that a World Cup qualifier?
It was a friendly, international friendly.
It was international friendly. So we were talking before we went on the air, Jeremy, how being Italian-American and growing up in Chicago's Little Italy, obviously I root for Italy, but with their loss to Bosnia, I have a new team I'm rooting for this World Cup. I'm all in on Bosnia.
That is fantastic. Now, did you know much about Bosnia or the team before that game?
None at all. None at all. I think just the celebrations in that country that I was up all night watching on social media and just hearing the story just made me a fan immensely. And plus, I'm one of those people that if the team that beats the team that you root for moves on, chances are it might be a good team to hitch your wagon to, even though the Italian national team has not been that great the past 3 World Cups.
You know, it's hard from an American fan's perspective to say that the Italian team is not that great, but yeah, they had a rough match there, and hopefully they'll get their act together and qualify for the next World Cup.
And with the World Cup starting in 2 months now, a great opportunity to come out here to Horizon's Edge to see soccer, and maybe if you're new to the sport, maybe learn a bit more about the game. Watch it, get a feel for it so you can enjoy the World Cup a lot more on your television screen. And plus, with it being hosted in the Americas, Canada, United States, and Mexico, it's just a great opportunity to really get into it and to maybe, grow the sport, locally.
Well, as a teenager, really, I first became aware of the joy of the beautiful game from the previous United States hosting of the World Cup back in the 90s. And even in a year when it's not in the United States, the world goes soccer crazy. Oh, good save.
That was a beautiful save by Cruz.
So I'm expecting it's going to be a summer of soccer, and definitely hope that folks will include some time out here at the Horizon's Edge Sports Campus in Harrisonburg in their soccer menu for this summer.
With a low drone of 81 just over the berm straight in front of us. Sometimes not as low as drone you'd like for it to be. A little loud sometimes when an 18-wheeler goes by, but it is a beautiful campus. It is a great facility, and it's a fun place to watch some good soccer.
I'm just thinking about the last time I heard the word berm. Your vocabulary is impressive, Jim.
I had the Thesaurus audiobook in the car while I was driving over here. And there's another shot on goal, and Cruz with the save.
No problem. Cruz tosses it to Layden Mongold.
Mongold, is that a relation to first assistant Bobby Mongold?
It is, and in fact, we have 3 father-son combos on our coaching team this year. We have Bobby and Layden, as we just mentioned. We also have Wissam Zatar and Ahmed Zatar. And our head coach, Adam Sharp, has his son, Caleb Sharp, playing on Blue Ridge FC main team for the first time this year. He was a star of the BRFC2 team last season.
Which one would you say is the sharpest tool in the shed? Did you see what I did there?
Oh, that's very good.
That was horrible. Remind me never to repeat that joke again.
Yes, that's what I meant by very good. Horrible.
Or was that a pun? I think technically it's a pun if it's a play on words. But anyway, I digress. Back to the action. And we're in the... oh, goodness, on the attack.
Number 15, Jonas Bonilla, and number 10, Giancarlo Sfracenio, passing it back and forth there. And up to number 31, Eugenio
Blue Ridge trying to find that opening in the Lynchburg defense. No avail just yet. Going to send it back out to midfield, maybe reset a little bit and see where the action takes us here. And nope. I tell you, this Lynchburg defense, it's very impressive. Everybody is marked, and the attacks are just stymied before really they can even take shape.
Well, it looks like Blue Ridge FC is really pushing forward to try to break this defense.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back in Lynchburg FC control of the ball. Oh.
I thought Lynchburg was going to get something together there, but that was Levi Buckwalter on defense who put a quick stop to that. I feel like that might have been a step away from goal number 2 for Lynchburg.
That felt a little close, but Levi Buckwalter and Alex Cruz had a little teamwork there and managed to trap it.
Levi is quick. I've noticed that so far. 17 minutes into this match. Scored Lynchburg FC 1, Blue Ridge FC 0, and that lone goal of the game took place about the 5:26 mark of the opening half.
I mentioned that Levi grew up in Guam, where he attended Harvest Christian Academy High School. He graduated there in 2023, but he has family roots here in the Valley, and that's what brings him back to Harrisonburg for his work with Blue Ridge FC, and we're certainly glad to have him.
So how many rookies, do you know off the top of your head, how many first-year players we have out there in the main squad?
I don't have that in front of me, but I mean, I'm looking and counting, and it looks like it's about half and half.
And you know that mix of youth and veteran has to have head coach Adam Sharp just kind of licking his chops coming into this season.
Yeah, I've been talking to him a lot about licking his chops less. You know, it really is quite unseemly. But no, I think he has some great raw talent here, and I'm excited to see what they'll do with it. It looks like that was an opportunity missed.
Finally, Blue Ridge is kind of breaking through on this defense. But had a little bit about a 30-second sustained attack there. The ball got kicked back out. Looks like now they're resetting. But maintaining control, lead pass goes nowhere, but that was a good try, and I liked what he was looking to do there.
When they connect those passes, it's going to be dangerous.
So in the United Premier Soccer League, how advantageous is that mix of youth and veteran players?
Well, based on the teams that we've been playing the last 2 seasons, we see a couple different. What? All right, there
nice
we
save.
Got that out of the way. We see a couple different common profiles of teams. One of them is the grown-up adults who were college players and are now enjoying UPSL as more of a post-college league. Then we see some teams that are very heavily college-focused, and occasionally we'll see teams that are very developmental and focused on the high school age. But Blue Ridge FC sits at that nice place where we do have a few of the older folks, but we have a great mix of college and high school talent. And that's been the case each of the previous 2 seasons as well.
One would call that a potpourri of players, I imagine.
Yes.
That's Cruz with a nice little kick save, a dangerous situation there. Blue Ridge still can't clear this ball out of there. There we go. And now little chance to catch their breaths, and everyone to kind of reset. Another nice challenge by Cruz there to make the save.
He is not afraid to get right in there.
No, I like this. He reminds me of the Sylvester Stallone character in the movie Victory. Am I aging myself by talking about the movie Victory?
I don't know the movie Victory. I do vaguely remember Sylvester Stallone.
I just broke kayfabe by
It's,
laughing
it's,
there,
it's,
didn't
it's
I?
Rambo, right? I mean, yeah. And Rocky. Was he Rocky also?
He was. Victory was a fantastic soccer movie. I want to say 1984, maybe? Michael Caine, Sylvester Stallone. Pele was in it. It was my first introduction to
Oh.
Pele.
So the 1980. No, we got blocked there.
$1981. It was a 1981 film.
Okay. So was that in the height of the what was the National Soccer League that they were beginning back then?
Oh, the NASL, the North American Soccer League. I was a big Chicago Steen fan growing up. That was my introduction to soccer, was going to Wrigley Field and watching Karl-Heinz Granitza was on that Chicago Sting team. It was fun.
At Wrigley Field, I didn't know that.
Yes, they split time at Wrigley Field and Comiskey Park on the south side were the two places where they played their games, and the Chicago Sting won the 1981 Soccer Bowl against the New York Cosmo.
I know that in the modern era, while MLS has been building soccer-specific stadia across the country, they've borrowed from time to time stadiums from other sports, including baseball, and hasn't always been well received by the fans when you try to play soccer on a baseball field.
Well, it doesn't have that crown.
It feels like we're settling into quite a back and forth. At first, it felt like Lynchburg FC was clearly dominating, but now we're kind of passing back control of the game between the teams.
Yeah, those back-to-back sustained attacks by Blue Ridge there over the last, I want to say, 3.5 minutes really helped out. And I think, that last play is what we want from Blue Ridge FC. We want to see that hit them quick and over the top style of play from them. And I think that's the kind of play that you're going to see garner a little more success against a team as good as Lynchburg. Lynchburg maintaining control in the Blue Ridge FC end. Now it's their turn.
Number 17, Riley Queen, kind of waiting up front for his chance to take it forward.
Really just passing back and forth. Lynchburg is looking for an opening. They may have one there. Nope, they cannot maintain control in the penalty area, and it's going back out at the feet of Blue Ridge.
Oh.
Nope. And scratch that. It's going back Lynchburg's way. Oh, that's some aggressive goalkeeping, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
And I thought surely that was going out of bounds, but they managed to keep it in.
Goodness, you're so disciplined, Lynchburg, on the offensive end.
It feels like they're moving in formation. And that's something that Blue Ridge FC has struggled with in the past few seasons. We've had some great standout stars, but they have sometimes struggled to move together and to anticipate each other's location.
And I think with the array of young up-and-comers on the Blue Ridge this year, you may see that togetherness develop during the course of the season. It may become evident here in the second half. It may become evident here in the last 19 minutes of the first half. But it's going to become evident.
And that is our first whistle of the game.
That was. Bobby Mongold skulking along the sideline there, directing traffic, lanyard swinging from around his neck. He walks with purpose. He directs with purpose.
Oh, so that was not a foul whistle. That was for a hydration break.
Oh, well, I think I'm going to join him.
When you do come in person to Horizons Edge Sports Campus to watch Blue Ridge FC, we're happy to have an on-site, what would you call that, snack bar?
Yes, I would call it a snack bar.
It is very well stocked with snacks and beverages and some adult beverages too. It's a very pleasant and laid-back fan experience.
It is. You get to watch. You can watch from even with the pitch on the bleachers. You can watch in the raised platform that we are on. It's almost like a balcony, a covered balcony that really kicks up the wind.
I've heard it called a mezzanine, but I'm not sure what makes a mezzanine versus a balcony. Mezza. That's Italian, right? For middle of something, I think.
Because my last name ends with a vowel, you think I know all the Italian words, sir.
Well, this is where we can just make up where the word comes from.
Well, mezzanine is a partial story between two main stories of a building. So I think this is more a balcony.
It's a balcony because you walk straight out from the same floor of the building to this structure. There's no in between.
Yeah, and you were correct. Mezzo means half in Italian.
And neen means correct, so I was half correct.
Bene, sir. Looks like hydration break is over, and Blue Ridge will be kicking the ball out of their own territory.
Leighton Mongold takes the kick and moves it forward, but bounced back by Lynchburg FC. Now fighting for control, and let's see. Oh, Levi.
And there's our second whistle of the game for those keeping score at home. By the way, the score of this game is Lynchburg FC 1, Blue Ridge FC 0. We're 26 minutes and about 50 seconds into the first half.
Yeah, again, I just have to remark on, after that first scary few minutes where it looked like Lynchburg FC might be completely dominant, it's really settled into more of a back and forth, and it feels like it could be anyone's game.
For sure, and I think you also got to credit Mr. Cruz in the net and the defense in front of him for really turning back any sort of attacks, and then the mids for not allowing the attack to sustain itself.
And off the head and over the goal.
It's been an about face from like the first 7 minutes.
Yeah. 100%, Jim. If you're watching the stream, you might observe the head coach fiddling with the tent in the background as he tries to un-askew it.
Yeah, you got to be careful with them slide tackles. Good sportsmanship out there, not something you see often. And if you watch the Premier League, you don't see a lot of helping up and hand slapping after a hard slide tackle. It was not card worthy, obviously, but it was a pretty aggressive slide tackle. But everyone was friends afterwards, and that's all that matters when you're playing soccer in the Premier Soccer League.
Yeah, I would say that 90% of UPSL games are very friendly. Occasionally we'll get one that has a little spice to it.
Is this the first corner of the game?
I believe that's right, or at least for that corner. Attempts to head it in and snatched up by Cruz. Anthony Eugenio moves it forward and back to number 7.
Number 31, Anthony Eugenio for Blue Ridge can really scoot.
He's a fast one. He plays on the Bridgewater Eagles, as we mentioned, with Riley Queen. And Anthony earned a place on the All-ODAC second team in his first season with ODAC.
Following the same trajectory as Mr. Queen, it appears.
Happy early birthday to Anthony. He will be 21 in 10 days.
Congratulations, Anthony.
Oh, to be 21 again.
Right? Do you congratulate someone on their birthday? I feel like it's more like
if it's been a tough year.
Oh, there we go. Cruz, no problem. Just kicks it out. I feel like that might be more of a wedding and childbirth thing, is to congratulate somebody.
I've had years where I would have appreciated being congratulated.
When I turned 50, I guess when you turned 50, when I turned 50 last year, a lot of people congratulated me. And I didn't know how to take that. Did you not expect me to make it this long?
And the ball kids are getting a lot of activity in the last few moments.
Who supplies the ball children?
I don't know. I didn't see any ads in the paper. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they find out about that opportunity. I imagine that's probably not the way to reach children anyway.
Oh, Cruz just punched that out there.
Oh, we've got a lot of feet going a lot of places, and
we got a handball, it appears. Well, that one ball kid had a foot on her.
UPSL does also have a women's league, but I don't know that we have any teams within an hour radius of Harrisonburg, unfortunately.
That's a shame. I would, again, it feels like the popularity of the women's game always rises, and especially with the dominance of the U.S. squad. Blue Ridge trying to get something together here, but they turn it over at midfield, and that's going to be a whistle.
Yeah, we had
and the ref is reaching for a card, and somebody is getting a yellow. Who's getting booked out there?
It looks like that's number 10. Giancarlo Sricanio.
There's a lot of hand fighting going on that, but bravo to Giancarlos for just wanting to protect the breakaway there, which he did.
Giancarlos tells us that one of his favorite hobbies is fishing.
Really?
But I don't think he was fishing for that card.
No.
I think that was a whoopsie.
Did you just make that up?
No,
Oh,
he really did tell us
Okay.
that his hobby is fishing.
Because I like a good pun as much as the next guy. But I guess technically that's not a pun. But I digress. Here we go. Back to the action.
Oh, we have a dangerous buildup and move to the side by Levi. Another attempted goal that overshoots.
I'm telling you, Cruz has got to be super ecstatic the way that defense has been playing in front of him for the past 27 minutes since that early just spurt of attack from Lynchburg. He's still having the move back there, but it's just nothing's been as dangerous as it was during that first 5.5 minutes. I'd say we got about 20 fans up here joining us on the mezzanine. I'd say about 30 more down low.
Off the post.
That's a crossbar shot right there. His game was about 2 inches away from being 2-0 in favor of Lynchburg. But now here comes Blue Ridge trying to get something going the other way.
Some fancy footwork there by number 11. Lynchburg regains control and kicks it forward. But Blue Ridge FC's defense has it in hand or in foot, if you will.
Just been very solid. Again, I'll talk about it all the rest of this half unless anything changes, just how solid it's been after that first 5.5 minutes of this match. It's very few things are getting through to Cruz, and when they do get through the Cruz, they're easily handable. I would just like to see it maybe turn into a nice, quick, over-the-top attack the other way and catch that Lynchburg FC defense maybe a little off guard, maybe a little back on their heels a little bit, because what I've noticed throughout the course of this match is that defense really comes up to go on the attack when the team as a whole is on the attack, and I feel like a good quick spurt the other way would result in maybe a nice breakaway.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, that where our team kind of moves down the field altogether when we're on the attack, Lynchburg's holding it a little closer to their goal. Their defenders aren't moving up any further than midfield. They seem to be anticipating, waiting. We've mentioned Levi Buckwalter as one of our fantastic defenders. On the other side of the field in defense, we've got number 25, Layden Mongold. Like Alex Cruz, he's also in his third year with Blue Ridge FC. And it's been great to watch him join the team. Even when he was a high school player, he was starting and was a standout. And now he is a freshman in college.
A Broadway high school kid?
He did go to Broadway High School, that's right. And now he's at Bridgewater.
Go Gobblers. I just love these home kits. I will say it till I'm blue in the face, which coincidentally is the same color as the home kits. Various shades of blue, and I believe it says welcome in 3 different languages on the back of the kit.
That's right. It was inspired by the no matter where you're from, we're glad you're our neighbor sign, which originated here in Harrisonburg and has been popping up in yards around the country over the past decade or so. And didn't want to shrink the entire sign down onto a shirt, so they decided instead to bring the words welcome in several languages.
So well done, and it reflects. I mean, it's called the Friendly City for a reason. In a lot of larger cities, you have to drive around to eat around the world. In Harrisonburg, you can literally walk around and eat around the world over the course of 3 hours.
It is an embarrassment of riches.
Not sure what that was. That whistle was for. But the official blew it.
Play is stopped.
And it looks like we're coming back the other way, or are we staying on this side of the pitch?
Oh, looks like it's a free kick. So back to Leighton Mongold, he has declared a major in psychology, and I wonder how he might bring his learnings about the psychological workings of his opponents into his game this season.
I believe it was Triple H during the Attitude Era of WWE was known as the Cerebral Assassin. And I feel like maybe if you can use your psychology degree on the pitch, you might have a nickname ready for you.
That could be our challenge this year, Jim, is we can come up with the wrestling doppelgangers
Yes.
Of each of our players.
I am all in. See what I did there? That's for the AEW fans out there. I thought right there
Both of them.
I thought right there we're going to get that quick spurt we wanted from Blue Ridge. Just couldn't maintain it.
I'm curious about the crossover. I know that, Jim, you and I are both fans of professional wrestling and soccer. I don't know how large that Venn diagram is.
It's probably not large at all. Actually, I take that statement back because I just thought about the fact with soccer being vastly popular all over the world and in Latin American countries, and with Latin American countries wrestling and the love of the luchadors.
That's
and
true.
Maybe that Venn diagram is fairly large. Spending a lot of time on Blue Ridge's side of the pitch.
Yeah, and they have moved their defensive lineup forward after what I said earlier. I think this is the furthest I've seen their defenders move forward. Maybe they're readying for an attack.
Well, with about 4 minutes, give or take, depending on injury time, which shouldn't be too much of it left in this half, they might be looking for an opportunity to go into the locker room up 2-0.
Creates a great opening for a counter.
Looks like some of the Lynchburg players were hoping for a corner kick there, but no, the official says, nuh-uh, that's a goal kick. That's coming back this way.
Nice dramatic appeal to the ref. Always fun to watch.
There we go. There it is.
Okay, but
there it
stay
is.
on. Oh, we're going to stay on. Number 7, moving with, right out under his feet.
That is what exactly we were looking for.
I'm wondering if the numbers have changed since the paperwork that we received earlier. Number 7 looks a lot to me like Jonas Bonilla Guevara, but I'm not sure if that's him.
I think one too many touches for him there. Maybe should have pulled the trigger a half a second quicker. But again, that's easy for me to say sitting up here on the balcony and not with 2 defenders breathing down my neck.
Number 14, Ahmed Zatar, throws it in. One of the father-son combos we mentioned earlier with assistant coach Wissam Zatar.
Is Thomas Jenkins' son playing in Richmond? Lynchburg, oh, okay. Yeah. So his son's in Richmond, but this isn't Richmond. Yeah.
Got confused by the double whistle there. I thought he was blowing the half about 2 minutes early.
Yeah,
Make sure they know we have Corona and medallions and everything.
the proprietor of this establishment is reminding our fans that when they come to the games, they have a fabulous selection of adult beverages available for sale at the snack bar.
So if you are live streaming this game while sitting up here in the stands or in the balcony, feel free to go grab yourself a beverage.
And if you're not here, we'll see you next game, and they'll still have a great selection. So did someone get a card in that?
Nope.
Just a possession.
Oh, goodness.
There's some rolling, but no whistle.
Let them play, the official says. And the next home match for Blue Ridge FC will be April 25th, right back here at Horizon Jet Sports Campus, where they'll be taking on Skyline Elite SC.
So that takes us to the half. And the score, Lynchburg FC 1, Blue Ridge FC 0.
Well, I just got done wolfing down a hot dog and a cheeseburger, $9. That's the kind of deal you're getting here at Horizon's Edge Sports Campus when you go to their snack bar. Yeah. I brought my own water, though.
Oh, okay. Well, chicken strips for $6, great deal.
That's not bad.
Reasonably priced beverages of all types.
No line, and stood behind they have a basketball tournament going on right now. Stood behind a referee who has officiated 12 basketball games today, and I would be not upright if I refereed one basketball game today, let alone a dirty dozen. But we're about ready to kick off the second half here at beautiful Horizon's Edge Sports Campus in the heart of the gorgeous Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, a stone's throw from the campus of James Madison University. And you can hear 81 buzzing behind us, and you can also hear the family-friendly atmosphere of children playing when you come out to a soccer match here for Blue Ridge FC, and we're off.
Yeah, it's just such a great, positive, family-friendly environment, and it has been for not only this first game of the third spring season, but for the last 2 seasons as well. For those who don't know, Blue Ridge FC was founded just 3 years ago by a group of soccer enthusiasts led by John Hall, the CEO of Endless Horizons, and became Harrisonburg's first semi-pro soccer team. I remember being here for the first match in 2024 against DC United's U19 team, and it was a very full house and lots of excitement to kick off the Blue Ridge FC experience.
And here's hoping we have an exciting second half. And I believe, how does the old adage go? And I'm aware that's redundant because all adages are in fact old, but the score may be 1-0 Lynchburg ahead, but to start the second half, it's 0-0 in our hearts.
That's right.
Is that how the adage goes?
It sounds good to me. I'll have to check my atlas of adages to go with your thesaurus of puns you mentioned earlier.
Yes. Downloadable off the internet, as the kids say. May or may not still say. Again, I'm curious to see.
We have a dangerous. And
all
it's
right.
over the top.
A little too much grease on that bacon, as they say, with the shot. It went high over the crossbar. I'm curious to see how the Blue Ridge defense carries over their superb final 40 minutes of that first half into the second half, especially against a pretty stout Lynchburg offense. And it looks like if we're going to take the first few seconds of this opening half into account, it's going to be the same.
Yeah, Lynchburg FC starting off aggressive, and it did feel like that last shot was relatively open. I was kind of surprised given how hard our defense worked to stand in front of the ball in the first half. Hopefully just a momentary lapse.
If you're watching the streaming, I think it's time to give a shout out to the crew that's making this happen.
Wow. Yeah, incredible partnership this season, continuation of the beginning of a partnership last season that really kicked the media production of Blue Ridge FC up about 800 levels. And again, lots of great improvements this year with Afterphase Media. We've got a whole team of folks here who are manning cameras and manning the control booth. And just really producing a high-quality product for our fans here and at home. And we were told at halftime that there's even more improvements coming, some instant replay and some other great features that will enhance your viewing enjoyment.
So while the streaming content will be steadily improving over the course of the year, and I believe it is the hope that the commentary will be...
It's only up from here, Jim.
A little self-depreciating humor goes a long way in this economy, doesn't it?
No, I have to say when I received the invitation to be a part of this commentary team with you, I was very excited because I've enjoyed just talking to you
Yes.
over the last season. I think was you jumped in with both feet as a part of your day job, and getting to know you has certainly been a pleasure.
That defense just not breaking. That Blue Ridge defense in front of Mr. Cruz between the pipes is just, that one goal, 5.5 minutes in, 5:40 in.
Yeah.
And since then, there's been a few moments, but really it's just been that defense is just turning everything away.
So we just saw a moment of ruthless aggression to take us back to our WWE.
That's the right attitude to have. Really? Nothing on that one?
Oh, attitude. Got it. Sorry. You could hear the ping pong ball just clanging around in my brain, desperately attempting to connect with anything.
Yeah. Oh, here's an opportunity on a lazy Lynchburg pass, but their midfielders are. It's hard to get even through their midfield, let alone into their defense to test them. And then once you're, I like a good defensive battle, and that's what we're getting right now. Except for that one rebound that Cruz couldn't corral and the defense couldn't clear that resulted in that Lynchburg FC lone goal right now.
Looks like number 11's been awarded a free kick.
This is what they kind of need, they being Blue Ridge FC. Just the opportunity to put the ball on the net and then maybe grab a rebound themselves and push a rebound back into the net. Let's see what they do here. Just a two-man wall. He's going to put it into the box, and a head's going to clear it out, and that foot's going to make everyone kind of reset here.
Back to Levi Buckwalter and into the midfield, up forward, but headed out by Lynchburg FC.
Excuse the silence. We're both digesting our halftime wolfing down of food there. Lynchburg's going to get an opportunity with a free kick for themselves, wondering what their strategy is going to be. Is he going to put a shot on the net, or are we going to try to get someone to head it in?
I'm guessing header, but
yeah, three-man wall in front of the kicker. The kicker.
it's.
I feel like I could have described that in a better way.
Just wide. And to the great disappointment of Lynchburg FC, relief from the Blue Ridge defenders.
And now let's see what Blue Ridge can do. Again, I like to see them use their speed a little bit and just a nice, aggressive, over-the-top attack and then sustain it. Just pepper the keeper, pepper the defense until you push something through.
Now, not to make you or I feel old, Jim, but I was looking at my notes, and number 14, our defender, Ahmed Zatar, is 26 years old, and at 26, he is the oldest player on the roster for Blue Ridge FC.
Well, you've officially made me feel ancient. feel like Imhotep in the movie The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser classic.
Now, I think Imhotep also appeared in Night at the Museum, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Played by Hank Azaria, or who was it? One of the Simpsons.
Yes. Hank Azaria, you are correct. And he was also, of course, one of the original Universal monsters.
Oh, is that right? With like Frankenstein and
Yes.
Dracula and all that business?
Though I don't know who played him, I believe. But anyway, we're just... I couldn't drop it. I know it wasn't Bela Lugosi, but I had that on my list to knock off a Bela Lugosi reference.
Now I'm checking YouTube, and the fans are clamoring for us to find out
Yes, are they?
who played Imhotep in the 1930s or 40s.
Well, like any good TV or streaming personality, we're gonna oblige. The Mummy was played by Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff.
Yes. It was in 1932.
Oh, so he is the Mummy. The Mummy is Imhotep.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
You know, I came here to enjoy some soccer, but I'm also learning things.
Are you accusing me of being a liar, sir?
No, sir. Never.
We got a Lynchburg corner kick here as they're looking to give themselves a little breathing room from Blue Ridge FC. And, they got to clear this one. Another, again, a little too much grease on that bacon. That shot was a little too high. And Blue Ridge FC is going to turn it back, and let's see where we can go from here.
I would say that's probably the fourth or fifth shot from number 9 that's gone over the bar.
The proverbial chill pill I think he needs to take when he's got that ball at his feet.
Although I have to say, from Alex Cruz's position under the post, I think he might have caught it even if it had been a little lower.
Shadows coming into play on the pitch right now as the sun sets to the west, as it always does. The Blue Ridge FC side in the shadow. Lynchburg side still in the waning sun as it sets behind the beautiful Blue Ridge.
And
that dribbler was no problem.
Easily handled.
Sporting that wonderful United Way Circle of Hope on the front of his keeper kit.
Oh, a little head-to-head contact there with number 9 and number 15. Blue Ridge FC working to gain control and move the ball upfield.
Oh, that would have been nice. He had 31 getting ready to start streaking. That'd be Anthony Eugenio ready to start streaking towards the keeper, but just lost his footing on that one. And now we're back into Lynchburg's side of the field. Again, though, that Blue Ridge defense, I will continue to talk it up. It's just been spectacular since that hiccup about 5:40 in.
Number 11 kicks it forward, but unfortunately no one's there to pick it up for Blue Ridge FC, so it heads to the goalie and then back out into Blue Ridge FC's half. Alex Cruz off to Levi Buckwalter. Back to Alex.
He really positions himself very well in that net, which I guess obviously makes a good goalkeeper if you know where to position yourself. and coupled with his aggressiveness as he came out in that first half and really just knocked knees with on a lot of attacks, and it just they got a good keeper back there and behind that defense.
Yeah. So number 15 seeing a lot of action here. That's Jonas Bonilla Guevara, 20-year-old who's in his first year with Blue Ridge FC. He attended Spotswood High School and now attends Bridgewater College, where he's majoring in business administration.
Oh, so part of that Bridgewater connection, local high school, the Trailblazers, for folks who don't know.
Oh,
man.
That was a unfortunate bounce.
Another bad bounce leads to a second Lynchburg FC goal at the 59-27 mark. And that's going to put some distance between the two squads. And the way that this Lynchburg defense is playing, I know we got a lot of time left in this half, but this task has become much taller for Blue Ridge in their home opener.
Disappointment on the faces of Blue Ridge FC, but there's still time to pull it back. I imagine we'll see even more aggressive play from our boys in blue as we round out the final 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and now's the time to do it. Now is the time to, flip it into overdrive and just go, 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 go. And I'm certainly not trying to take anything away from Lynchburg FC. Obviously, the proof's on the pitch. They're a good squad. But when you look at the two goals that are on the scoreboard for them tonight, it's been two bad bounces.
Yeah.
It was a rebound that Cruz couldn't corral and the defense couldn't clear, and then basically the same thing minus the rebound there off Cruz. It's the defense just couldn't clear the shot, and it took a weird bounce.
And that seems to be where Lynchburg is putting their energy into just making as many shots on goal as possible happen and hoping that a few of them get lucky, which they have.
I'd like to see Blue Ridge be able to break through and be able to start doing the same. They got about 29 minutes to get it going, and let's see what happens here. Did you know that admission is free?
Oh, that wasn't just for me? Oh, well, yes. Yeah. That's wonderful.
So
in the previous years, there was an admission charge.
Yes.
This year, it's free.
No excuses not to come out and watch some good semi-pro soccer with some last names you may recognize if you're a local high school sports fan or a local college sports fan, especially in the soccer realm. You're going to recognize some of these last names.
So you can take that $5 you would have spent on a ticket and spend it on chicken fingers instead.
Yes, or a cheeseburger. $4 for a hot dog. Oh, and there's some frustration on that Blue Ridge player.
There's 3-on-1 there, and the whistle blows.
Midfielder Elvert Nunez had a man get ready to streak. He just could not get it to him and lost control of the ball. And you saw him slap the turf there as he knew that that was a missed opportunity, but maintained the head, didn't do anything silly after that turnover. And there we go. I don't know if you were able to pick that up on the Nat mic, but Bobby Mongol, first assistant head coach in home matches, yelling at his squad on the sideline, encouraging them to attack, and looks like they did hear him because they're trying to put something together now. But again, that midfield, aggressive, good.
I will say every time Lynchburg's getting the ball, we are seeing 3 or sometimes 4 Blue Ridge FC players swarm to kick it out from under their feet.
We got a Blue Ridge player walking. He was on the pitch briefly. He is now up and walking off We're walking back to his position under his own power, it appears, so we should be good there.
And it looks like we have a substitution. I believe that is...
Got a couple of new subs, new players coming out here for Blue Ridge FC.
I believe that is Lucio Bianchi, but I'm not sure. I can't see his number. Yes, indeed, it was Lucio Bianchi.
And Aiden Van Horn.
Great. So Lucio was a Harrisonburg High School graduate, and he's originally from Uruguay.
Go Blue Streaks. That's the Harrisonburg High School mascot for those not in the know. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of towns and a lot of cities that have 2 high schools, which Harrisonburg does now have, often talk about an American football rivalry. I don't think this town's ready to handle a Rocktown High School, Harrisonburg High School soccer rivalry.
You know, the Harrisonburg High School soccer team had a long winning run for several years, as you might imagine, in a large high school with a diverse community, and was playing large high school teams from around the state. As they have split into 2 smaller high schools, they've still been pretty doggone good.
And not being in 5A, which is the second largest classification in Virginia based on high school enrollment, is going to help as well. And when you do split a school like that, you're gonna see just a short cycle of a reset because players are getting split up, teams might be getting split up as well. So you're looking at maybe like a 1-2 year cycle to see things really come back to where they were. But with both teams, I believe, now being at the 3A level, that puts them in a much better, more of an even playing field where they're not playing those huge high schools out of Northern Virginia or the Tidewater region.
More playtime for more high school students. That seems like it might be a good thing in the coming years for Blue Ridge FC, too.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that whistle coming.
Number 45, Lucio Bianchi, is a tank, and
yes.
he has in last year he was also a tank, and sometimes that tank rolls a little hard and gets a whistle.
Caught that Lynchburg player right in the shin, just above the ball, or just as he was releasing the ball, and you're going to get a whistle every time on that.
Aiden Van Horn working hard in there to try to clear the ball whenever Lynchburg gets a hold of it.
I'll tell you what, I don't think he's touched the ball more than once since he's come into the match. But just watching him move on the pitch, number 16, Walanja, did I pronounce that correctly?
Oh, yes.
I am just so, my eyes are drawn to him. It's just, he's silky smooth out there moving.
Yes, number 16, Walanja Baukiaka, is also a Harrisonburg High School grad, now attending Eastern Mennonite University, majoring in computer science. And I have, in more than one occasion, seen him do some wonders in goal, and hoping he can do the same here tonight.
Just silky smooth out there, good pitch presence, just waiting, and that speed, goodness gracious. He had no right to almost catch up to that ball, yet he did. And we have a Lynchburg FC player down, holding what appears to be his upper left thigh, not quite writhing in pain, but definitely in some discomfort, but now being helped up again, helped up by a member of the opposing team. And
Yeah, the person the Blue Ridge FC player who offered a helping hand is number 18, Dima Abdullah. And Dima actually comes to us from Kurdistan, which is, for those who don't know, a not independent country, but an area that spills over into several other countries. And within Iraq, Kurdistan is a semi-autonomous region. And in Kurdistan, Dima played professionally for the team of Kaladza for 2 years and was a top scorer and an MVP of the season. Certainly excited to have him here in his first year with Blue Ridge FC.
Well, that is pretty cool. And that is that the northern region of Iraq is Kurdistan, if I'm not mistaken?
I believe that's right, yeah. And there's a part of Kurdistan that extends into Syria and a part that goes into Iran. And I think there's even a fourth country that's not coming to my memory right now.
Turkey?
That sounds right.
Okay.
That's right, Turkey. Look,
Geography
we are whether you're here for wrestling commentary or geopolitical insights, you've come to the right place. Want another hydration break?
I live in Rockingham County, but working in Harrisonburg, and again, going, like I said earlier, being able to eat around the world, what I've picked up on in order to, and it's a very large Kurdish population and Arabic population in Harrisonburg, and what I've learned is when talking to folks, it's Supas is thank you in Kurdistan.
Oh, yeah.
And shukra is thank you in Arabic, and that's how we kind of figure out where we stand. And it's like I've learned so much from being at restaurants and knowing which ones are owned by people from Kurdistan and which ones are owned by Arabic folks.
Yeah.
And it's all based on how you say thank you for me, and I've just found that.
That's
again,
that's a good tip.
Yes, again, just to experience the diversity in such a 32 square mile city is how lucky are we as residents of Harrisburg and Rockingham County to experience that.
Incredibly fortunate. The Kurdish community really began arriving in the late 90s, early 2000s because many had worked alongside the U.S. military during the first Iraq War and received visas to come over the ensuing years. As you may recall, one of the accusations against Saddam Hussein was the way he terrorized the Kurdish population within his country. And Kurdistan has stood with the United States again and again in various conflicts in the region, including currently in the conflict with Iran.
Something happened the ref didn't like there. And we're sending it back into Lynchburg's possession. We're nearing 70 minutes into this match, which means we got 20 minutes left, if my math's correct.
The ref did a little back kick there trying to explain the foul, and I'm not sure what...
I thought he was doing the Macarena. Is that still a thing?
I doubt it.
Okay. I broke kayfabe again.
All right, we've got another blown whistle, and looks like number 14 is getting a talking to from Lynchburg.
I would classify that more as a stern lecture.
A stern, yes?
I don't think the official was mad. I think he was more disappointed.
Oh, that's the worst.
I could watch him go all day, Willanja.
He is
all day.
Willanja is just waiting for his opportunity to turn it up to 11.
Yeah, he's like Pavlov's forward. He's just salivating at the mere thought of a nice through pass that would allow him to break loose and put a shot on the net and hopefully pass the Lynchburg goalkeeper. But he's just waiting, and you can just see it. And I have a new favorite player.
I'm sure he will give our camera people some extra work to do to follow his speed throughout the season.
This could be it.
Waiting for someone to put it at his feet. Hasn't happened yet. Lynchburg FC on the counter, and they're bringing it up pretty swiftly. But there it goes.
Again, they had that, little bit of maintained attack about the 6-minute mark. And then since that bad bounce goal, it's almost like a rinse repeat of the first half here.
Yeah.
And now it's become more even, more back and forth. Neither keeper having to do a whole heck of a lot since that second goal. But I think that's credit to both of these defenses who are keeping things clear and outside of the penalty box.
In midfield and challenging the play is number 19, Caleb Sharp, the son of head coach Adam Sharp. Caleb attended Mountain View, now Stonewall Jackson High School in Shenandoah County, and is currently attending Mary Baldwin University, where he is a sophomore.
Mary Baldwin, located about 35 miles down the road in historic and beautiful Stanton, Virginia. Stanton is one of those cities where you know who's not local when they pronounce it Staunton. And don't get me started on non-locals trying to pronounce McGackiesville.
McGackiesville really is a crime on spelling, in my opinion, and I think something needs to be done.
Reminds me of far southwest Virginia. There's a town called, if you didn't know how to pronounce it, you would pronounce it Dante, like Dante Zaferno, but it is indeed pronounced Daint.
Daint?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a old company coal mine in town where every building on the main drag, every home on the main drag looks exactly the same because they're all built by the same company. It's very uniform.
Is their town slogan, "Daint nothing there"?
It should be. It should be. They call them Dainthausen's. That did not go over well, and that was too far of a stretch on that one. As I tried to make another professional wrestling reference live.
Dainthausen. Okay, once again, I'm catching up with your razor-sharp wit. And Danhausen, a hilarious wrestler who's recently debuted on the WWE, and his shtick is he's kind of like a vampire a comic vampire.
Yes.
It's somewhere between Insult or Triumph the Insult comic dog
And Svengoolie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Which, by the way, on Svengoolie tonight on MeTV is American Werewolf in London. So I'm looking forward to getting home and watching that. But now back to the pitch.
I hope we're not keeping you.
Yes. You keep making me break kayfabe.
We just need Blue Ridge FC to get 3 quick goals, and then we can head off to watch Svengoolie on MeTV tonight. Mentioned earlier, we have several Bridgewater Eagles college players on the team. We also have 2 from Mary Baldwin. As I mentioned earlier, Caleb Sharp, and he is joined by his teammate, Landon Grady, number 24. One of the interesting things about UPSL soccer and Blue Ridge FC is that the roster is fairly fluid, and I think the head coach Adam Sharp has said he wants to keep the roster a little more stable this year than it has been in the past 2 years, but it's kind of fun because we'll have some mid-year surprises of additions of other players, including some college standouts who joined for a season, and I don't know what this season will hold, but I'm hoping we'll get to see some of those as well.
I was just going to ask that when you're talking about players coming onto the squad as the season progresses, if a lot of those players would be colleges, maybe local, maybe not so local, whose seasons are coming to an end, and they're looking to, stay in the game.
That's exactly right, because the Blue Ridge FC regular season extends through early June, and so there is quite a gap between the end of college season, certainly, and college semesters, and the end of the Blue Ridge FC season that gives additional players an opportunity to join, if the team will have them. I'm very interested to see this fall when Blue Ridge FC will host its first fall team. So far it's only been spring. How that might work, because of course fall is the time that many men's college teams are playing their regular season. So I imagine that fall season will give an opportunity for more high school players and perhaps some of those ex-college players to step onto the field.
I am keenly watching another player, Lucio Bianchi.
Yes, our tank, number 45, yes.
Because my goodness, he's
a
deflected that
lucky
one?
deflection. That's probably going to leave a mark. It looked pretty.
I like Lucio's aggressive play. Again, it's not overly aggressive. He's not getting whistled for anything, and there's no cards flashed in his direction. But I mean, he's a tough nut to crack. It looks like. Interesting that he's a forward. I would have him pegged as a defender. And
was it over the line? Was it over the line? And it looks like the ref says play on. Wow. That was close.
A nice reach back save by Mr. Cruz there in the net. I don't know how that didn't get over the goal line, but he had the withdrawal, the reach back, and Corella pulled that thing back out. And bravo to him. I mean, just to maintain your mental edge there when you're laying on the ground, sprawled out, and they have the presence to know where the ball was, and to kick it out was just beautiful. Though I would be curious what VAR would say about that.
I was just imagining our next game when we might have instant replay in place and additional insights
VAR
we might
in
have.
Place next.
VAR? What do you say? Yes? Okay. The control booth is making the signal to run VAR. We don't have the technology for it, though, so. I remember I was once at a Real Madrid game, the one and only Real Madrid game I've ever attended at the Estadio Bernabeu in Madrid, and the crowd chanted, "Vámonos al VAR, vámonos al VAR," and I did not understand what they were saying, and I thought they were saying, "Let's go to the ocean."
No.
And I thought, why would they be chanting, "Vámonos al mar"? What?
Well, I mean, I bet the ocean was pretty. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, I feel like, I don't know.
I was unkind, at the very least.
I heard the ocean's pretty that time of year, and I'm assuming I knew what time of year you were at a Real Madrid game.
In Spain, I think it's pretty at all times of the year, right?
That's very fair. Are you a Premier League fan? Have we had this discussion before?
Yes. I'm an Everton fan, and so I confess that I have not watched much this season, and that's probably good, because it seems that when I do watch, they struggle, and when I don't watch, they seem like this year they seem to be having better seasons. So. It might be my fandom that has cursed them in previous years.
And I'm a Nottingham Forest guy, and a team that has changed gaffers about as much as I changed socks this season, and it has not been fun. But we're still above the yes, I'm forward on the team. They're still above the regulation line, and I'm fine with that. I think we're getting a corner kick here. I believe Blue Ridge had the last touch on that. But I'm waiting for official word from our official.
It is both humorous and beautiful how we take ownership for the teams that we love, isn't it?
Right.
Our emotions rise and fall with their fortunes.
And it is a corner kick. I believe this is Lynchburg's third corner kick of the second half, of which we have about 7 minutes and some change remaining. Still, that was nifty,
right.
But even a niftier save by Mr. Cruz there, sporting the large United Way of Central Shenandoah Valley Circle of Hope on the front of his goalkeeper kit.
I think that Circle of Hope was almost a target in that last play. Landed right in the center of his chest. Now, eagle-eyed fans may notice on the sidelines for Lynchburg FC is a former Blue Ridge FC player, Alex Krakowiak, who was a fantastic member of our squad for a few years and is now an assistant coach for Lynchburg FC.
Is he a Lynchburg native? Do we know?
As I recall, he's from the Northeast, maybe Massachusetts, but he attended. He moved to Liberty University at some point.
Okay.
We've been talking a lot about our goalkeeper, Alex Cruz. He is a graduate of Spotswood High School, but moved to the U.S. in 2017 from Honduras. And one of the many wonderful additions to our local tapestry, and certainly a critical part of our Blue Ridge FC team.
I'm 5 minutes and change left. I'm really hoping that Blue Ridge FC can put their foot on the gas a little bit here. It's, again, to Lynchburg's credit, they're making it hard. They've just controlled the ball for the last, I want to say, 8-9 minutes, keeping it on this end and just not allowing Blue Ridge to even start the car at this point as time melts off the clock and that 2-goal lead just staring them in their face here at their season opener at home at beautiful Horizons Edge Sports Complex.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of stoppage time. They've kept the play going pretty smoothly throughout the entire game. Lynchburg FC, as you mentioned earlier, came into the game as a favorite, having won the DMV South Conference last year with a record of 9 wins and 1 draw, 0 losses. This year, they have experienced a little bit of growing pains as Lynchburg welcomes a USL League II club, Hill City FC. However, Lynchburg FC retains a strong squad, and this, over the last 3 years, has become a true Virginia rivalry, in which Blue Ridge FC is playing the part of underdog currently. In the 2024 season, Blue Ridge FC finished the conference in 5th place and Lynchburg in 6th. But last season, in 2025, Lynchburg was a dominant force. And it appears they're starting this season off to a strong start as well.
Put yourself in Bobby Mongold's shoes and Adam Sharp's shoes. You're talking to this team after this match. Let's assume the score stays the same, 2-0 with about 3 minutes and change left. What are you, as the gaffer, hanging your hat on with this team walking out of this match?
You know, we saw some great defensive play. We saw some really strong rejection of strong offensive play. I think that there's a lot to celebrate and not to hang your head too low, even if the score doesn't change. Based on what we've seen today, we knew that these were heavy favorites. I think we'll be looking at game footage and thinking about how we can go into the next game ready to bring our offensive play up to the level of our defensive play.
I 100% agree with you on all of your points. And I think that, yes, maybe the opportunity. We got a yellow card coming out of nowhere.
And that looks like that was at Lynchburg, number 11. One can only imagine it was for dissent or some other
I didn't see anybody.
Inappropriate comment.
May have been some ravenous discussion with the official. But back to your statement prior, I agree with all your points. I think maybe if I'm digging deep into the criticism well, again, keeping in mind this is a season opener. You're playing the defending conference champ. Maybe a little more offensive aggression, just a touch more, because again, you can't. It's counterintuitive to be super aggressive on offense, and then you're leaving your defense hanging out to dry along with Mr. Cruz there in the net. But I maybe would have liked the scene moving forward. I like to see just a little bit more attack out of that front line. But that would be my only criticism. I thought the defense played spectacular, except for maybe 15 total minutes in this match. And a lot of that lack of aggression on the offensive side may be because of Lynchburg's stout defense.
Yeah. Well, last year Blue Ridge FC played in a conference called the DMV South B, and there are some teams that we're playing this year, including Lynchburg FC, that we've seen in that conference. But this year, as UPSL teams ebb and flow, we are in the Virginia South Conference. Along with Blue Ridge FC and Lynchburg FC, we have Grove United and Richmond United out of the Richmond area, the Wave Football Club out of the Norfolk area, and Skyline Elite SC out of Charlottesville.
You mentioned Grove United. Blue Ridge FC's next match is April 11th. That is Saturday. That is on the road at Monacan High School, which is in Richmond, and that's a 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know if that's right. Okay.
For whatever reason, the UPSL site often puts game times in Pacific time, so you have to do a little conversion in your brain. It's 3 hours, right?
Yes, so that's 7:30. It's a night game, and then the week after that, April 19th, they are at Norfolk Collegiate Field 2 taking on the Wave Football Club, and that's a 5 p.m. kick. Now, and then they're back home on April 25th.
We just like that, snuck in.
As we're in penalty time, it goes to 3-0 in favor of Lynchburg. They're back home on April 25th as Blue Ridge FC hosts Skyline Elite Soccer Club. Back here, 7:30 kick. That looks like that's a evening game at Horizons Edge Sports Complex. That's so odd, the Pacific time.
Yeah, next match with Grove United should be a different story than tonight's game. Grove United has struggled over the past 2 seasons to get out of the very bottom of the standings. But several of the clubs that you mentioned are new to the conference this year and perhaps new to UPSL. I need to do a little more research, but I believe that Wave Football Club is brand new. Richmond United I'm not sure about. And Skyline Elite previously has been playing as a team, but not within the UPSL.
And in the start May, it looks like Blue Ridge FC has Richmond United back-to-back on the road and then here at home. Don't know if that's a good thing for either of the squads to see each other that close together.
Yeah, you wonder. And, with the UPSL, depending on the depth of the roster and the needs of the players, sometimes the away team and the home teams have a different composition. So I'm curious if it'll be very similar starting squads in both matches or if they'll take different shapes, and that's over the top with a little help from Alex Cruz.
Cruz punched that one over the top of the crossbar. I imagine the official is going to let this corner kick take place, and depending on what happens, blow that double whistle here shortly, because like you said earlier, there was not a lot of stoppage in this second half, and we're at about 2 minutes of stoppage right now.
As we wind towards our closing time, we want to again thank Afterphase Media, our media partner for this season, as well as our sponsors LD&B Insurance and Domino's. And the United Way. And additionally, we thank Horizons Edge Sports Campus for hosting our games and for being a wonderful host. And there's the whistle, fans. We invite you to follow us throughout the season, follow us on social media, and please do leave a comment, like, or share this video as you're watching it. Help us to continue making this experience better for all of the fans as we cheer Blue Ridge FC to its next game and hopefully its first victory next week.